Hejsan också och välkommen to Sverige Heavy Metal Review. This one is indeed a Swedish band, Ereb Altor, with the new album Vargtimman. Roughly, I guess, an hour of the wolf. Roughly, give or take. My Swedish isn't exactly the best in the business. This is the 9th album by this band, which I could call easily side project, or more like sibling project. The thing here is, the aforementioned band has been there for a lot of years. Basically started out with a different name before this one, and since then these two bands have pretty much released music kind of a back-to-back. But now Ereb Altor has exceeded the amount of albums made by Isolé, and it's interesting because basically this could be seen as the side project or sibling to that band, and yet at the same time they are also both sharing a little bit of style here, but a little bit is also different. That is partially the lineup with this band. Now Ereb Altor is very often referred to some kind of a Bathory successor for its rather epic combination of heavy metal, Viking themes, even this kind of epic doom. And sometimes it's kind of obvious why, because there's a lot of Bathory vibes going on, and it seems that Bathory, especially the Viking age, that has mostly inspired Ereb Altor, I think, more than other bands. Now, curious enough, what Metal Archives list is started as an epic doom/Viking metal has later on turned to Viking black metal. And indeed, this one has a little bit of black metal elements here and there. Some of the riffs, clearly more black metal than epic Viking stuff, and also a little bit of raspy vocals. However, most of the stuff with this album is exactly what you would call kind of epic, heavy Viking metal music. Be it Viking metal or heavy metal doesn't really make a difference, because what you need to know is this is basically tapping into the very same vein as Hammerheart and Twilight of the Gods by Bathory. But this is also different. Much like Fer de Lance from United States, this is more like having a better vocalist in terms of, this kind of a music. Clean vocals, a lot of epiness, that is this kind of atmospheric music. So not exactly the kind of a new wave of British heavy metal kind of a vein of heavy metal, not exactly Wasp or bands like that, which are more aggressive but more kind of a soothing atmosphere. So definitely overlapping a little bit with Bathory, but also at the same time quite different. Where this Ereb Altor album totally stands out is the vocals. I mean, they are definitely more tapping to this kind of epic doom vibes, and roughly the vocals are a lot better than what Warson ever did with Bathory. However, when it comes to songwriting, this is also different, but not even close to of Bathory's greatest levels of achievement with any given album from that era. So while I would say Vargtimman is Vargtimman is actually quite easy to enjoy, and at certain levels it's almost great, there's a lot of kind of a filler material, considering it's only 42 minutes, give or take. And that's kind of a not exactly problematic, not exactly annoying, but it's kind of a shame that there are these parts. First of all, these black metal elements are kind of like unnecessary. First of all, they don't really, bring anything new or necessary or important stuff to this kind of metal. It almost feels like they're there to just annoy people who can't stand any kind of extreme metal in the first place. And secondly, this is more like too much up and down all the way. While the most epic parts on this album, for example, how the album starts with "I Have the Sky," it's like, hey, this could be really it. And then there are lots of filler parts where you just kind of lose the interest all over the album, and it's a little bit up and down all the way through. So while at the same time I would say, yes, this is kind of a cool album and definitely tapping to the same vein as where Bathory was operating with Hammerheart and Twilight of the Gods and Blood on Ice, etc. At the same time, there are parts like, why do you have them here? Why do you necessarily have to put those black metal elements there? I mean, I love black metal. I love Viking metal, but not necessarily when they're, brought together like that. It's almost like a pineapple on a pizza. Some people love it and some totally hate it. For me, I don't like them there. I can have them there, but that doesn't certainly make my pizza a little bit better. So Ereb Altor is tough cookie to crack once again. I've read a few reviews by my colleagues to get a little bit of a grasp of what people were thinking, you know, how they were, you know, seeing these Bathory elements put there together when I was, you know, figuring out my own opinion. And I can totally agree or understand why some people are so much like divided with their opinions, Ereb Altor. I mean, a lot of people kind of like say what I am saying here, like it's great to have those Bathory-like elements and whatever. And at the same time, some people are like, but this is not even near the level of songwriting and all that stuff. And unfortunately, that is very much true with this album as well. Production-wise, pretty cool. Vocals-wise, definitely great. But songwriting is still a little bit hit and miss. So while it is a decent album, far from being exactly great. But if you like that stuff, and I mean there's not too many bands doing the same kind of stuff, give this one a go. It will be at least interesting, even if not great. Thanks for watching the review. Looking forward to your comments and opinions about it. See ya.